Here I'm turning up. There we are. I'm here. Hello, guys. Hello, Anaya from Leicester. Hello, Dylan from Langston. Let's see, who else do we have this morning on this Friday? Archie. We've got Solasana, Himanshu, Sophia from Luton. Let's see a few other names. We've got Archie, hello. Cledwin, hello. I'm really excited. Friday morning, lots of energy, lots of young mathematicians. Hello, Jenny Watson. Hello, Mita. Hello, Megan. Who else do we have? Hello, Iram. A few more people. Hello, Eloa. Hello, Alex from Risardin. Hello, Luke from Milton Keynes. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to get started and keep sending you a shout out. Shout out for Gabriello and Dino Polivu from Worcester Park. Hello, Ulas. Okay. Hello, good morning, Edward and Chichester. This is exciting. Tom from Ipswich. We're getting everyone from all across the UK. Hello, Manashi in Sunderland. I'm really excited. Hello, Thomas Carlisle. Hello, Rebecca in Paddington. Hello, Reese. So many names coming through. Hello, Millie. Oh, Millie, who won the Explore Learning competition. Hello, Millie. Welcome to see you again. Let's see, who else we have? Mayuri, Sujata, Rosie, Hannah, so many of you. Okay, I'll keep shouting out as I can throughout the day, but let's get going. So, good morning. Repeat after me. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. A bit louder. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. So happy Friday. I'm Mr. Seagull, a school teacher, but you can call me Bobby. So I'm really pleased. Some of you might be doing some Joe Wicks this morning, running around, switch kicks. What are these called? I forgot what they're called, but you do lots of exercises. And now you're here with Maths with Bobby at 10 a.m. So I'm a school maths teacher, author of The Life-Changing Magic of Numbers, and a presenter for the BBC Monkman and Seagull Genius Guide series. And we've got series 2 coming out very soon. So I always tell people that maths and numbers changed my life, and I want to help you change your life through loving maths as well. So I'm really excited to be here with Explore Learning. As you can tell by the poster there, I always do the pose, my power pose, and we have the Explores at Home scheme being launched. And we're supporting their mission to keep education going during these difficult times. And you can find more information on explorelearning.co.uk. And again, I love social media. Who else? Star jumps! Someone's telling me it's star jumps, Damita. Yeah, star jumps. None of those today, but they're fun as well. Social media, we love it. On Twitter at Explore Tutors, on Instagram at ExploreLearning_official, and then on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube as well, and LinkedIn, I'm at Bobby_Seagull. And the hashtag is #MathsWithBobby. So if you're enjoying the session, Rosie, Eva, Vince, Farah, please let us know by tagging us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. We love to see how excited you are about maths. And I'm really excited because today's the first session for 11 to 14-year-olds, Key Stage 3. So we've had Key Stage 1 before, Key Stage 2 was our first Friday for Key Stage 3. We've got Eva Whitney in Vietnam. Oh my God, Vietnam, the world is watching us with maths. So I'm so excited about that. Okay, so one thing I've done with my Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2, and what you can tell, is that Mr. Seagull, I get quite excited by maths, really excited. So I'm going to show you the little thing that I do all the time, and we're going to do this together. So what I normally do is people say they can't do maths. It's almost like a cross, like in Britain's Got Talent, but we're going to change that. So I'm going to show you what this is. So if you've got the cross there, it's yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. Becomes a Y, can you see? A Y. We'll do that one more time. And again, we're going to get Stormzy involved in some things. Stormzy, if you're watching, get involved with the yes, you can do maths. Okay, so cross says yes, I can do maths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. There we go. There we got it. Okay, so Mondays are Key Stage 1, Wednesdays are Key Stage 2, and Fridays are Key Stage 3. And we covered fractions last week. This week is calculations. Then next week you move on to time. Then we've got measurements. Then patterns and sequences. And then finally money. And then roughly the class will be about 30 minutes long. Then I have something called a Thoughts of Mr Seagull, positive message that can help you with your daily life. And then at the end, about 10-15 minutes of Q&A from parents. And sometimes I'll give you the chance to think about things. And this is a model of my brain for a new BBC documentary coming out. I'll hold on to my brain. And if I'm thinking, it means you've got a minute to think about that problem as well. So I've got John Jeffries back who did the Key Stage 2. I've got Ken. I've got McHenry. I've got Zidane. I've got Tracy. And again, we've got Vietnam today. Hello, Vietnam. So we're going to get started. So hopefully you've got a piece of paper and a pen. A piece of paper and a pen. Yeah. We're going to use that later on. But initially, we're going to start off with a bit of basics just to get our brain whirring, and then we'll build up. We'll do some calculations, just recap on some multiplication skills, and then we're going to look at estimation. And I'm going to tell you a fabulous story about estimation and multiplication coming hand in hand. And at the end, we've got a visit from Mr Seagull, and he'll teach you a maths magic trick at the end. Okay, so I'm going to ask you 5 or 6 multiplication questions, and I want you to shout out the answer through your screen as loud as possible. So I need lots of energy. Your 7s, 8s, 9s, and 6s and 5s if you're here. So the first one is 2 times 7. 14. Good. The next one, 8 times 5. 40. Good. Well done, Ken from Putney. The next one, 7 times 6. 42. Good. Bit of a tricky one. 9 times 12. 108. Good. Another one. 11 times 0. I hope you didn't say 11. It's 0. 8 times 7. 56. Good. Good. Well done. So that was just getting our brain warmed up. No matter whether you're doing maths in Key Stage 1, 2, 3, A-level university, it's always good to get your brain warmed up. Because once your brain's warmed up, it's ready to put on the pedal and drive through the mathematics. So what I always tell my students is that no matter what stage of maths you are, you need to be confident at your times tables. So once you've got that numeracy confidence, it means that you can progress into other topics and feel like, I know what I'm doing. So I want to ask you a question, a poll in a second. So with multiplication, there are many methods of doing this. There's the grid method, the column method, perhaps there's a Chinese method. I'm going to quickly check in a little poll, what is your favorite method? So I'm going to ask you here, let's have a look. So what is your favorite method for me? Okay, so it's up there. There should be a poll out there. What is your preferred method of multiplication? Is it grid? Is it column? Or is it something else? If it's something else, maybe type it out for us. So let's see what we're getting. So your favorite method. So hello Sultana, hello Mita. So most people are saying, so I've got column so far, a few grid, the vast majority are column. Ulas likes column. Jane Taylor likes a Chinese, that's a cool method. Some people like mental. So Jane Taylor, you said to me you like the Chinese method. If people like other methods, can you please take a picture of it or a video and send it to us at Bobby_Seagull or Explore Tutors on Twitter and Instagram or LinkedIn, anywhere else, and show us what your methods are. We love to see so many different methods. So there's 3 options, grid, column, or other. So I can see a few people like grid, most like column, and a few others. So if you love other methods, please send it in to us and we'll share them out with you. Okay, so what we're going to do is do a recap of the grid method, or the column method rather. Let's get it correct. So imagine in the real world, you sometimes get questions that are just like 83 times 9. But other times you get questions with a problem. So imagine a problem was a shop sold 3,257 smartwatches. And each of these smartwatches cost £125. How do you work it out? It's a multiplication. So we're going to do this together. And if you're feeling really confident, why don't you, while I'm talking, quickly work this out using column or grid. But for everyone else, I will do this method on the board together. So, ready? Get your pencil, keep working. So 5 times 7 is 35. And you carry the 3 across. Then 5 times 5 is 25. That makes 28. carry the 2 across. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 is 12. 2, carry the 1 across. 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 1 is 16. So that is the first row done. Now, we multiply the 3257 by 20. So you put a 0 for the first part. So then we do 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. And 3 times 2 is 6. Is my working correct? Good. And then the final one, we multiply everything by 100. By 100. So we put 2 zeros there. And this one is straightforward. 7 times 1, 5 times 1, 2 times 1, 3 times 1. So it goes 7, 5, 2, and 3. And now we have to add them up. Because it's a column method, we add it up. We add it up, we get 5 here. Then we get 12, carry the 1. That's 7, 10, 11. Carry the 1. That's 6, 7, 12, 17. Carry the 1. 6, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1. So, that particular question was, there's 3,257 customers who buy smartwatches at £125. So this is actually a real world answer. £407,125. So that is the column method that most of us prefer. And I won't do the grid method, but I'll just quickly show you how we do it. And if you know it, maybe show me on your paper how you might do it. I'm going to show you the grid method and what you would do. We won't go through the entire procedure, but what you would do, boys and girls, is this. So you know that number 3257 multiplied by 125, you set it up almost like a noughts and crosses. So you put 3,000, then we split the next one up, the 200, and then the 50, and then the 7. And then now we try and do the same for this part. The 125, there are 1 in the hundreds unit, column rather, then 2, there's a 20 there, and then a 5 there. And then what you do is you multiply each of those bits out, and then add them up, and we get the same answer. So you can see column, or grid, or Chinese, or lattice, or any other methods. You can pick any other method that you want. So let's see any more shout outs. Daria's there, Loom is there, Cledwin's there. Hello all. So again, maths on a Friday morning, how exciting is this? Hi Ekoi, hi Luna again. Okay, so now we're going to move on to something that's really interesting. Really interesting. It's called estimation. And this is where I think times table skills come into their own. Because estimation, I'll tell you why it's really useful. People sometimes say to me, oh, Mr. Seagull, I've got a calculator. It tells me all the answers. And I'm like, it might do. But let me tell you a story. So I was doing averages with the class. And averages are where you add up all the numbers in a group, divided by how many there are, and it'll tell you the average for that particular group, the mean average. So in my particular group, a small group, we were working out the average height of students in a class. And I put all the heights up on the board in the class. So what I was doing was, I can't remember exactly what the numbers were, but we measured everyone's height, and we were putting it up on the board. We were like, 1.42, 1.50, 1.71. All the students were putting up their heights. And I told the students, add them up on your calculator and divide it by how many students. And one of my students was like, Mr. Seagull, I've got the answer. And I was like, that's quite quick. You sure? I'm sure. And then he said, Mr. Seagull, the average height is 3 meters. 3 meters. 3 meters. He came up with 3 meters. And I said, are you sure? He said, yes, Mr. Seagull, that's what the calculator says. And I made him stop and say, really? Are you sure? And what happened was, for one of the students, instead of putting 1.5 meters, he put 15. And it threw off the calculation. The calculator wasn't lying, it was telling the truth. But because his estimation skills were a bit off, he hadn't thought 3 meters in a class. I know some of my students are growing quickly, but they're not really super tall NBA basketballers yet. And even them, 3 meters is way, way, way taller than the tallest basketballer. So that's where estimation comes into play. So we're going to do a few together to get a sense of what estimation is and how it involves calculations. So I'm going to do a few together and get you to try some out yourself. So 49 multiplied by 9. So if we're estimating this, let's have a look. If we're estimating this, Amelia from Bradford, hello. Sally from London, Ricelip. Irene likes my story time. I like stories. I think with maths, there are a lot of amazing stories that really show how powerful our subject is. So 49 times 9. So if you're estimating this without checking on a calculator or doing it out, you do round this up to the nearest 10. 50 multiplied by 10. So that is, I'll put equals 500. So an estimate is 500. So can you see the squiggly line? That's almost like is roughly equal to. Okay? We'll do a couple more. How about 61 multiplied by 21? What would an estimate for that be? 61 times 21. Let's see if anyone else got there. I've got an Italian here, I'm really pleased. So again, for this one, round that to 60 and round that to 20. That gives us 1,200. 1,200 as an estimate. If I can write neatly, that would be better. 1,200. And then one more might be 196 multiplied by 31. Starting to get a bit bigger, the numbers. 196 times 31. Round that to the nearest 100, let's say 200. And then round that to the nearest 10, that's 30. 2 times 3 is 6. Then you multiply by the tens there. It gives us 1, 2, 3, 6,000. That looks correct to me. So these are ways of estimating. And essentially, boys and girls, you're using your multiplication skills. So let me give you one question to try and give me an estimate for me. Give me an estimate for me. So Emma says she's a bit confused. So Emma, what we're doing here is we're trying to use our multiplication skills to estimate answers. Because while we can write it out fully or use a calculator, it's always good to have a sense check. So all you're doing in this question here is 49 times 9, you're rounding it to the nearest 10. That becomes 50, that becomes 10. So 50 times 10 is 500. So you're trying to find a way of checking the calculation. Okay, here's a question for you. Can you... Here we are. So a shop sells T-shirts at £48 to 304 customers. Can you estimate for me how much money they made? So a shop sells... So write it down. It should be coming up. A shop sells T-shirts at £48 to 304 customers. 304 customers. So hopefully the poll should have come up. Have a check in your question card. Has that come across through? Let's have a look. So I've got some answers coming through. Oh, the poll should be there. If it's not there, maybe I need to open up the card. That would help. There we go. So a shop sells £48 T-shirts at £304. So put in your answers there for me. Put in your answers there for me. Let's have a look. Joshua, a shout out to you. Paulina. So Ione says a bit confused. So let's go through the answer. We'll go through it. So let's see. Mita with an answer. So well done, Jason as well. Well done, Bjorn. So what I'll show you is this estimation. Show you this estimation. I've got a lot of artists. Paul McManus. Yasu is a bit confused. So I'll go through this question now. So what it said was that a shop was selling T-shirts at £48. So they're quite nice ones. And they sold 304 of them. So the question was, what is the estimate of how much they made. So we don't want the exact answer as per a calculator. We want an estimate. So what we do is, well done, I've got lots of great answers coming through from Ria, Dharmisha, Anthea, Kat, Jane Taylor, Iram. Is this number here, you think, what is that close to? What can I round that to? £50. That's close to £50 when I round it. And this 300 is close to the nearest 100, 300. And now if I multiply those two numbers, so 5 times 3 gives us 15, and then we've got the 3 remaining zeros. So roughly it's £15,000. £15,000. And if I got my calculator and did that, and again we can use your grid or any other method, the actual answer is 14,592. And you can see if you're a shopkeeper, you're like, Mr. Seagull, that's not bad. I didn't have to spend ages working out the real answer, but I got a good estimate. So estimation skills are super important. Okay. Now here's a bit of a mathematical, very cool story that relates to estimation. So, how does a piece of paper dropping help someone to estimate the strength of an atomic bomb in World War II? A piece of paper. I'll tell you the story. So there was a scientist called Enrico Fermi, an American-Italian physicist. And what he did was, he was standing there when they were doing the nuclear testing during World War II. And he had a piece of paper. And when the nuclear sort of testing went off, obviously there's a big boom. And the piece of paper just moves a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. And from that, he was able to estimate how strong the actual atomic explosion was, just using the movement of a piece of paper. And actually, since then, that's been called the Fermi estimation. I'll write down his name. His name is Fermi. And I'll tell you why it's related to our skills in a second. It's called Fermi. Fermi, that's the name, Fermi estimation. And to this day, so imagine this is the front of an envelope. What would the other side of the envelope be called? The back of the envelope. So it's called a back of the envelope calculation, back of the envelope. So he essentially came up with a few calculations to work out how strong an atomic bomb was just on a piece of paper moving. And we're going to do one example together. And we've got to do some more work as well. So I'm going to ask you a question. How many bowls of cereal do you think are eaten in the UK? How many bowls of cereal? How many bowls of cereal? I want you to put up an estimate. So you should be able to see a question card that's come up. So Samina, Olivia, Emma, Iray, have a look. How many bowls of cereal? That should be there. Give me an estimate. Is it going to be 10, 100, 1,000? A sensible number, please, Paulina. 12,000. And again, I don't know the answer, but we're going to come up with a way of estimating this. So we've got 12,000 from Barbara, 50,000 from Nicola. So how many bowls of cereal? We've got 1 million from Kim. We've got 3 million from Nariko. We've got 100,000 from Selwa. I think we've got, is it 10 million from Richie? 10 million. So we're going to go through this. We've got a few 10 millions, Himanshu, 6 million from Jane Taylor. Natalie says loads. Natalie, I think you're right. It is loads. We're going to try and estimate how many that might be. And we're going to use a technique called Fermi estimation. Fermi estimation. Okay. So the question was, how many bowls of cereal are eaten per day in the UK? And I'll be honest, I don't actually know the answer. But we're going to use that, you know, that Fermi estimation, that back of the envelope skills, back of the envelope, we're going to use that to try and come up with an estimate. So firstly, we might need a sense of the UK population. The UK population. So actually, I did a bit of Googling, and currently the population of the UK is 67.8 million. 67.8 million. And again, when we look at that number, we think, oh, actually, that's quite an odd number to use. Can we round that to the nearest million or 10 million? If I round that, that's going to be what? Shout it at me on the screen. It's going to be 70 million. So 70 million. We're calling the UK population roughly 70 million. And now we think, how many people actually eat breakfast? And again, in my house, I always have breakfast, but my younger brother, Tommy, doesn't always have it. I know roughly about 1 in 2 people will have breakfast. So let's call it 50% of people will have breakfast. For 50% of people will eat something in the morning. So now we get the 70 million, that's the population of the UK, and half of them will have breakfast. Half of 70 million is 30. So half of 70 million is 35 million. But that tells you how many people have eaten breakfast. But how many people have had cereal? And what I might say is, roughly about a third, maybe 30% of people, 30% of people. So 30% of people, as a decimal, we can write it as 0.3. 0.3. So 0.3 multiplied by 35, and this we can use your normal multiplication skills, do 3 times 35 and then add the decimal back in, times 35 million, gives us 10.5 million people. So my estimate, so a few of you are reasonably close, this is just an estimate. I think 10.5 million people have cereal every day in the UK. And you can see that's the power of maths. Using a Fermi estimation, a back of the envelope bit of skills, we've come up with a way of estimating the number of bowls of cereal. Amazing. So here's a task for you to send us on our Twitter, Instagram, our TikTok, at Bobby_Seagull or at Explore Tutors. I want you to tell me how many apples are eaten in the UK every day. How many apples are eaten in the UK every day? So, use a Fermi estimation, maybe even every year. How many apples are eaten in the UK every day or even every year? So can you, not for now, draw up a calculation, maybe explain it to us and send us videos, pictures of it, and we'll share the best one. So please let us know about the apples. Okay, so we're going to move on to the final part of our session. Final part. I'm going to look at something that's quite interesting. So, imagine we have a plant. So it's going to take about 5-6 minutes before we move on to the Q&A. Imagine you have a plant. That's a weird looking plant there. Let's have a look at my Mr. Seagull's artistic skills. Imagine you have a plant and it's 2 meters tall, yeah? 2 meters tall. And this plant doubles in height. So that's day one. Day one. The plant is 2 meters tall. On day 2, it doubles in height to 4 meters tall. Okay? So day 1, it's 2 meters tall. On day 2, it's 4 meters tall. I want you to tell me, on what day will the plant be more than 100 meters tall? I'm going to put this as a poll for you. As a poll. Someone has pancakes for breakfast. Amy, that's delicious. So let's have a look at polls, if I can find it here. So, a plant that's 2 meters tall doubles in height every day. 2 meters on day 1, 4 meters on day 2, 8 meters on day 3. On what day is it more than 100 meters? So have a look at the poll. I want you to tell me. So you got 5, 6, 7 or 8 as the option. 5, 6, 7 or 8 as the option. So let's see, I can see a few people typing in. So how many days? So it doubles in height every day. So it's 2 meters on day 1, 4 meters on day 2, 8 meters on day 3. Let's have a look. We've got Hina with an answer which I'm going to say is correct. Irene with a good answer. Shout out to Sean and Harry. Well done, we were doing really well. So about 5 minutes more of teaching, so I want to get through this. I'm really excited to get through the last few bits. So, we're going to go through the answer. I can see a lot of you actually, most of you are getting there, most of you are very close. So, the poll should be up. The poll should be up. So I'm going to put the results up in a second. Millie, you're correct, well done. I'll go through the answer in a second. So, here it is. So, it's, on day 1, this plant is 2 meters. Then it doubles to 4 meters. Then it doubles to 8 meters. Then it doubles to 16 meters. Then it doubles to 32 meters. Then it doubles to 64 meters. Then it doubles to 128 meters. That's day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Day number 7. Day number 7. So you've got 7 there. Well done. So it's day number 7. Congratulations. It's day number 7. So, if you look at this calculation, what have we done? We've done 2 times it by 2, times it by 2, times it by 2, times it by 2, times it by 2 again, and times it by 2 again. And in mathematics, this is just repeated multiplication. But there's another way of writing this. And this some of you may have seen, and I think it's really neat. I think it's really neat. And if you know it, you're like, yes, yes, Mr. Seagull, I know what it is. Bobby, I know the answer. You can write that as 2 to the power of 7. Let's write it neatly there. 2 to the power of 7. And this bit here, there's a word for it. This is called, if you've got a piece of paper, write this down. This bit is called the base. That's the base, the number that we start with. And then this part here is called the power. The power. So you have the base and the power, but actually there are other words for the power. They've got the index, or some people use the word exponent. They're synonyms. Mr. Seagull's teaching you English as well as maths. Multitasking teacher. So the base is the number at the bottom, the 2, and the power is how many times you multiply it by itself. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 to the power of 7. So say that after me. 2 to the power of 7. And that is how we use powers. And I'll tell you why it's really important now. So if you switch on the news, a lot of the news is about coronavirus. But actually, I tell you what, maths and mathematicians are helping in the fight against coronavirus. And the reason is, sometimes in the news, you hear stories of, the number of infections are doubling every 3 days. And you know what? That is all about the mathematics of powers, of exponents. Because if things are doubling, it's always about multiplying by 2 every 3 or 4 days. So actually, mathematics is so important. When people ask me, Mr. Seagull, where am I going to use this in real life? It's being used right now by the NHS, by the government. Mathematics and powers. So mathematics is really powerful. Okay, so a couple of minutes more before I go through the thoughts of Mr. Seagull. I want to show you a quick tip, but I need to get my mathematician's outfit. I'm coming, hold on. Be ready for a transformation. A transformation. Hello. I am Mr. Seagull, this is my wand. I am a math magician. And if you're here and I'm thinking, oh my god, Mr. Seagull's really cheesy. Mr. Seagull can be a very cheesy mathematician. So, here's the trick today. How to multiply by 4 or 8 very quickly in your head. You may have methods already, but I think this is quite neat. And this uses powers. So, if you're multiplying, let's say 15 by 4 in your head, what I do is, the mathematician, I double 15 to make 30, and I double it again to make 60. If I wanted to do 15 times 8, let's say, I double that again to make 120. And the reason this works is because we're using powers of 2. 2, 4, 8. 2 times 2 times 2. So 15 times 4 is double 30 to 60, and 15 times 8 is double again to 120. So how about I'll do one more, and I'll give you a couple to try yourself. So how about I do 18 multiplied by 4, and 18 multiplied by 8. So again, mentally, I would do 18 times 2, which is 36, and times that again, that's 72. Double that again, it's 144. So multiplying by 4 or 8 is all about just doubling. So let me give you 2 questions before we do thoughts of Mr. Seagull. Let's see if it comes up there. So 2 questions for you to try for me. So can you try these 2? 21 times 8. And write down the answer for me. Remember, you double for 4 and you double again for times 8. So you're going to do 21 times 8 for me. And you're going to do 14 times 4. And you see how snazzy this method is. So I've got it up there as a poll. It should be there. 21 times 8 and 14 times 4. The math magician needs to hear your answers. Let's have a look. And this is awesome. Even parents out there, adults, I think this is an awesome trick. An awesome trick. I'm seeing some answers come through. Let's see. Meeta Gupta is looking correct. Vima, well, I'm not quite sure. You're quite close. Julia, well done. Paulina, well done. Lucy, Brett, well done. So we've got, so Sarah was done an estimation, which is cool, which is great. You're using the same skills as today. Brilliant. So, lots of brilliant answers. Dylan, well done. Millie, well done again. Millie, who won the Explorer Learning Mathematicians Award, which is a primary and secondary competition for year 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And that's there's more about that on the Explorer Learning website. So if you love maths, take part in those team competitions. So brilliant. Got lots of great answers coming in through from Sims, Greg, Paula, Barbara. So let me go through this. So 21 times 8, we double it first to 42. We double that again to 44. Am I doing this correctly here? 21 times 8. So 21 times 2 is 42. Double that is 84. Times that again, 168. Even mathematicians sometimes make mistakes. So 168. And then 14 times 4, you double that to 28, and you double it again to 56. So you can see that mathematics and powers can help us double things. 4 and 8. So if anyone ever asks you a 4 or 8, you've got it. Okay? So now, say goodbye to the math magician. Goodbye, math magician. Okay. So before our Q&A, what we're going to do is we're going to do thoughts of Mr. Seagull. Thoughts of Mr. Seagull. So, today's thoughts of Mr. Seagull is about how do you face a difficulty. So do you remember we had that question about how many bowls of cereal are eaten in the UK every day? When you first hear that, that can appear quite daunting. You can be quite puzzled and anxious, like, how do I know, Bobby? How do I know how many bowls of cereal? I've never been asked that before. And I think when you see a problem or a difficulty, we have 2 choices. Fight or flight. We can either say, I'm going to take it on, or we can think, oh no, I'm going to run away. I think this is the really key thing. When you have that difficulty or that problem, adults and children, all of us, you need to say something. It may not feel natural, but say, I'm excited for the challenge. Because when you say, I'm excited for the challenge, your mind then relaxes. Then you embrace the challenge. And then you give yourself the best chance of taking it on. So no matter what your difficulty is, if you're cooking something and it looks like it's about to boil over, or your homework's tomorrow and you've left it quite late on, you can either have that flight where you're like, oh, I'm scared and I can't do it, and it becomes difficult. Or you say, I'm excited, then you relax and then I embrace the challenge. So what I want you all to do is when you're facing difficulties, I want you to say, actually, even if you don't feel it, I'm excited for the challenge. I'm going to embrace it. Then your mind relaxes and gives you the best chance of doing it. And that's the way to approach challenges in life. I want you, when you face a difficulty, to say, I'm excited, I embrace the challenge. Okay? And if you do that, we're ready to take things on. Whether it's maths, English, science, cycling, baking, singing, anything you do, anything that's difficult, anything that's worth doing, you have to face the challenge. I'm excited, I embrace the challenge. All of us, we're ready to fight and give our best possible selves. Okay, so before we conclude, I've got a few questions from parents. And then obviously we end up with our maths positivity. So a couple of questions were, one was, a student asked, what can I do to keep motivated when I'm studying? So motivation is how you can keep yourself staying positive. And I think it's a combination of a few things, but one thing that helps is giving yourself a little reward. So if you've worked hard for, let's say, 30 minutes, you could say, oh, maybe I'll go and stretch my legs, or play some music, play a song. So for example, I like Justin Bieber, am I allowed to like that? Little Mix, am I allowed to like that? Or Stormzy, I'll go and play a song. I'm like, okay, I've worked for half an hour, I deserve a little song. Or it could be, I'm going to go and have a quick snack, a healthy one, an apple. So I would say motivate yourself by little rewards. So little rewards regularly to keep you going. I've got a question here from a parent that says, I don't understand the maths that my child is doing. What can I do to help? And I say parents, one good bit of advice is, I say this all the time, but go to your child's school website and they'll have the curriculum there. So my school's Little Ilford, go to the school website, check the curriculum, and they will tell you what topics they're doing. So at least then you can have a conversation with your child, because you don't need to be a maths expert to have that chat with your child where you say, so you're doing fractions now, what are you learning on fractions? And then when the child has the conversation, by that process, the child itself starts becoming clear on what they're doing. So look up your school website, see what curriculum, see what topics they're doing currently. Any more final questions? I think that's really great questions. Keep on sending your questions. And again, what I wanted to say is, so use social media, at Bobby_Seagull, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on YouTube as well. Let us know how you're doing. And again, that question about how many apples are eaten in the UK either today or throughout the year, send us your solutions. And again, this is all part of Explore Learning's Explore at Home. We're trying to keep people going during these difficult times. And again, on our website, explorelearning.co.uk, if you go to the club, you will find resources worksheets on these problems. So my next class is on Monday for Key Stage 1, 4 to 7 year olds, and Wednesday is Key Stage 2, and the next Friday we're back with you, Key Stage 3, and I think it's on time is our next topic. So please, if you've enjoyed today and you thought, actually, Mr. Seagull is quite a cool teacher, don't tell me too much, my head might get too large. But tell other people, tell friends, use social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'm saying all the things again, but please tell people. So before we close with our maths positivity, one thing I'm doing is, if you like quizzes, and you like the NHS, I'm doing something called Quiz for NHS. So tomorrow, Saturday night at 8 o'clock, if you look up BobbySeagull YouTube channel, I'm doing a quiz for NHS, where a quiz which has rounds and charades, I do some acting, we do a sing-along, there's some questions on primary school maths and secondary school, and it's a great quiz for the family, and we're doing it all in aid for the NHS. So do get involved. It's on my YouTube channel, Quiz for NHS. So, I had a great lesson. So what we learned today, we recapped our multiplication skills, our quick things like 8 times 7, which is 56. We've also looked at our column and grid, our estimation skills, and we looked at Fermi estimation, which I think is amazing. And then finally we looked at power. How do powers work? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So before we finish, a quick final shout out. Shout out to Millie, Michelle, let's see who else is there. Eva Whitney from Vietnam, I'm so happy. We had someone from Norway recently. So my YouTube channel, just look up BobbySeagull YouTube, or check out my Twitter, it's posted there as well. And it's Quiz for NHS on Saturday at 8 p.m. That's tomorrow. Michelle, Sujiva, Iram, who else do we have? Sumaira. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. You've been wonderful. I'm so excited that you've been here with us at Explore Learning for Maths with Bobby. So do you know what we're going to end on? You know it. Mr. Seagull's going to bring out his best cheese. So we're going to do this twice. So yeah, get your cross ready. Get your cross ready. Yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. Eat your heart out, Stormzy. 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. Yes, I can do maths. There you go. Thank you so much. You've been a wonderful audience. I've loved working with you today with maths, and I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Maybe see you at my quiz at NHS, but thank you so much.